A mass stabbing occurred on a train traveling from Doncaster to London King's Cross on the evening of Saturday, November 1st, 2025, between Peterborough and Huntingdon stations in Cambridgeshire. Police were called at 7:42 p.m. GMT after reports of multiple stabbings. 11 people were hospitalized, 2 remain in critical conditions, 4 have been discharged. A 32-year-old black British national was arrested in Huntingdon station. He was born in the UK. Police say there is no evidence this was a terrorist attack.
This is the dramatic moment. A suspect is tasered and arrested by police officers following a horror train knife rampage last night. The video shows a man wearing all black being wrestled to the ground on the platform at Huntingdon station. A taxi driver who took the video said before the man was arrested, he was shouting, "Kill me, kill me, kill me," to the officers.
Before anything else, let's take a moment and pray for everyone injured and wish them a speedy recovery. And I want to be clear, this is not intended to disrespect the victims or shift the focus away from all the people that experienced this trauma firsthand. They are the real victims here. But moments like this ripple far beyond the crime scene. They shape how people think, feel, and vote in Britain today. Every time a terror alert flashes across the screen, every time a suspect's photo goes viral online, something subtle happens in Britain's political bloodstream. Not in parliament, but in homes, pubs, and comment sections. That's where Reform UK gains traction. Not through policy debates or manifestos, but through emotion and fear. Reform doesn't have to campaign. The headlines do the work for them. When a brown or black face appears in connection with a violent act, even if the person was born here, the public quickly associate the crime with immigration and failure of multiculturalism. It doesn't have to be true, it just has to feel true. Reform supporters are often single-issue voters. Some care about immigration, others care about crimes by immigrants, while some are more fixated on erosion of British culture and identity by immigrants. They don't need 50 pages of policy. They just need one story that confirms what they already believe, that Britain isn't Britain anymore.
I'm a reform.
Same here. I'm all for Nigel Farage.
Give us a high five.
To right. So what annoys me is that everyone thinks that reform are all about hating immigrants.
No, it's a load of rubbish.
But I think there's so much more to us than that.
Oh, most definitely. Of course there is. Of course there is.
So what are the other reform policies that you like?
I mean, I can't name off the top of my head.
To be honest with you, I can't remember them all now.
What other reform policies do you like?
Spend more money on the NHS.
That's actually not one of our policies. So we want to cut public services by £150 billion. Wow. Okay. It's quite a bold statement. We need to put an end to free healthcare.
Yeah. Do you think so?
We need to protect the wealthiest.
Yes.
So we need to cut the taxes on things like private education, private healthcare.
Yeah.
Protect the billionaires.
Climate change is a myth.
Oh, right, thank you for that.
So we need to put an end to net zero.
I don't really know too much about all that, but yeah.
Do you like how Nigel supported Liz Truss's mini budget?
Yes.
100%. We support 0-hour contracts.
Yeah.
I don't like all this, like 1 week you're working, 1 week you're not.
Well, that is actually a reform policy.
Yeah.
We want to protect the wealthy. We think it's a good idea to turn this country into a tax haven for the billionaires. That means not taxing their foreign income.
You know, I think we should all pay our fair amount of tax.
Do you think those are all good ideas?
Oh yeah, great ideas.
After a stabbing or terror scare, Reform's poll numbers tick up. Not because they have a solution to cases like this, but because they speak to the anger others tiptoe around. When Labour or the Conservatives call for calm, Reform says, "We told you this will happen." And when politics becomes about demographics, people start voting for the party that promises them to take back control. It's no longer even about immigration anymore. A second-generation black or brown Briton can trigger the same reaction as a new migrant. To many Reform voters, it's not about the passport, it's about belonging. Who looks or feels truly British? So even when a crime has nothing to do with immigration, it still becomes evidence in the emotional case against diversity itself.
I think the country's had enough now of listening to the crocodile tears after this has happened. What we need is a government that is actually elected to look after and protect the interests of the British people. The problem is we've got all these human rights lawyers who seem to indulge their fantasies and not keep us safe. And when this sort of thing happens, I think that we can argue the British state is complicit in a crime like this, because they haven't done enough to protect our borders. They haven't done enough to deport illegal immigrants, both those arriving and those living here. They haven't done enough to deport foreign criminals in our country. And it's quite clear to me that a lot of the people who are coming in here don't share our culture. They don't respect our culture. They're a danger to the honest, decent, tax-paying, law-abiding citizen of this country.
Every violent crime by a brown or black person goes through this cycle. 1, a violent crime happens. 2, the media amplifies it. 3, public anger rises. 4, reform blames weak borders or political correctness. 5, mainstream parties condemn reform, and the condemnation becomes proof that the elites don't care about us. By the time the story fades, another few thousand people have quietly decided to vote reform. This is what fear does to democracy. When fear becomes the reason people vote, policy disappears. No one asks what reform will actually do about knife crime by British-born citizens, but Reform UK doesn't rise on ideas, it rises on perception. Its power isn't in parliament, it's in public emotion. And that emotion spikes with every headline, every viral video, every tragedy. The tragedy on that train should bring Britain together in empathy, not divided through fear. Because if every act of violence becomes a racial referendum, Britain won't just lose lives, it will lose its soul too.